There's a certain filmmaker who I will not name. We're not gonna name him. Who came out with NFT and he didn't own the property. Fuck up. I own She's Gotta Have It. The rights reverted back to me from Island Pictures after 30 years. I own it.
Hey, welcome back everybody to Altcoin Daily. My name's Austin. We're about to share with you an awesome conversation with filmmaker, director, writer, multi-Academy Award nominated filmmaker Spike Lee. It was awesome to have him on the channel. My brother and I are huge fans. And just FYI, I wanted to make this intro because half of this interview is about his foray into cryptocurrency, his NFT project, which is all about helping young filmmakers. It's called the Visible Project, link down below. We'll talk about that. But the other half of this conversation is just about filmmaking and being an artist. And you can see his passion for that jump out right on screen. So just FYI, half about crypto, half about being an artist and a filmmaker. So I think you'll really enjoy. Leave a positive comment down below. We'll be checking. And hey, welcome back everybody to Altcoin Daily. My name's Austin, here with my brother Aaron, joined by the man, the legend. He needs no introduction, filmmaker Spike Lee. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. So you guys are brothers?
Twins.
Twins.
That's right.
Not identical though, right?
Technically, we are identical, although you can clearly tell the difference now.
Now with the, all right.
All right.
Yeah, I see the likeness.
Exactly. You can definitely tell brothers. I want to jump right in to your journey though. I mean, you've been a long-time crypto supporter. How'd you start your journey into cryptocurrency?
Well, crypto hasn't been that around that long, I think, to be a long time crypto guy. Again, and thank you for having me. My children, my daughter Satchel is 26, and my son Jax is 24. They've always helped their daddy. From turning on the TV with the 9 million remotes and stuff. And they've always tried to keep their father, not always tried, they have kept their father up to date. What's happening with the music, technology. And so they said, Daddy, you should check out this NFT. I said, NFT what? What does that stand for? And so I was intrigued. And one of the things in doing my research, I always try to do research, is that a lot of the mishaps people were getting into is that they didn't own the intellectual property that they're putting out in NFT. And I thought, like, what I have, I said, boom, shakalaka. I own She's Gotta Have It. My very first film, after 30 years, all the rights reverted back to me. And I thought about the character Mars Blackman. Iconic. Not iconic. Iconic. That's how Brooklynese coming in. Iconic character of the culture. Mars Blackman, the original B-boy, the original sneakerhead, who I played that character and She's Gotta Have It. And then Jim Griswold and Bill Davenport, who at the time were working for Wine & Kennedy, which still is Nike's agency. They saw a film in Portland, and it was their ideal, their brilliant ideal to pair the character Mars Black with the GOAT, Michael Jordan, born in Brooklyn, New York.
Iconic commercials.
Yes, which put Nike into the stratosphere. And in fact, when those commercials came out, more people knew me as this crazy guy in these Nike commercials and not really the filmmaker of She's Gotta Have It. Most never not even heard or seen that film. In fact, when Jim Riswell and Bill Davenport went to, because Michael Jordan, Whitey Kenny said, boom, that's good. But they started to get permission from Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan had director approval. So at that time, they asked the GOAT. He didn't know he didn't know who the f I was. Didn't know what the movie was. And it wasn't until All-Star Weekend in Toronto, where it was like 20 below. It was crazy. That I finally got enough courage to ask Michael. Because I said, here it is. I said, Michael, why'd you choose me to direct those spots? You could have gotten any big time Madison Avenue director. And he said, motherfucker, you wearing my shoes. So I had the honor of more than once of the GOAT, the greatest, Michael Jordan, call me a motherfucker. And I wear it proudly.
I love that. Now, obviously, that was huge, like back in the day, pairing up the NBA, Michael Jordan,
Right.
She's Gotta Have It, and just like it blew up every aspect of those individual cultures and like made them stronger coming up together.
Can we use the word intersection, my brother?
Hell yeah. And, you know, that was legendary, obviously. Now, I want to
How old were you in '86?
-4.
You weren't even born.
Wasn't even born yet, but obviously I've seen She's Gotta Have It.
And your brother, and your twin brother too.
It's like when you said the GOAT.
Your twin brothers, you gotta be born in the same moment, right? A couple minutes, maybe. Who came out first?
5 minutes apart, older.
There you go. So you're older.
And I'll always have that, bro.
I won't.
I know he hangs over your head, right? You hear about that every day, right?
I'm a little bit taller, so I'll always have that.
Uh-oh.
Anyways, so yeah, we're talking about She's Gotta Have It, and the new NFT project is called the Visible Project. Before we really dive into that, just zooming out a little bit, like big picture, as you were like looking to get in the NFT space. And maybe this is going to be as iconic as when you partnered with Jordan and when you partnered with the NBA. But as a filmmaker, looking into the NFT space and deciding to get involved, what appealed to you the most?
It was, I had the IP, intellectual property. There's a certain filmmaker who I will not name. We're not gonna name him. Who came out with NFT and he didn't own the property. Fucked up. I own She's Gotta Have It. The rights reverted back to me from Island Pictures after 30 years. I own it. The character Mars Blackman, I own. I created that motherfucker.
I love it. So let's jump into it. It's called The Visible Project. Links are down below. What is the Visible Project exactly?
All right, before we do that, I want to break it down a little if I can. I want to break it down so it can't be broke no more.
Let's do it.
I went back once I decided I was going to use the character Mars Blackman. I got my own 35 millimeter print of the film and curated frames from the film of Mars Blackman. So that's what you'll see, the different NFTs.
Mm-hmm. These are frames in the movie, different one for each NFT.
Yes, from the film. But I went back to the original 35 millimeter film to pull the frames. Besides a filmmaker, I'm a teacher. I'm a tenured professor of film at the NYU Graduate Film School. And I'd like to add, we kick motherfucking USC and AFI in the ass. They don't put out what we do. So I wanted, and I've been teaching over 20 years at where I went to school. With Ang Lee and I were classmates the same year, and also Ernest Dickerson, who shot all my films, who now is an esteemed director himself. So I've always been about teaching. I come from a long line of educators in my family. So being a filmmaker and also a teacher, I know how much it costs. NYU, my students, if you come to the graduate film school, a 3-year program, when you leave, you're gonna owe at least $250,000 in student loans.
Yikes.
That's a bag. That's several bags. And with this NFT, we're gonna continue the teaching, where we're gonna have vehicles where people do short films. We'll have seminars. So everybody can't afford film school. That should not be the reason why you can't make film. So this is for the people. I'm gonna do what I do in class. This can be for the young filmmakers who, whatever reason, can't or have not gone to film school.
One of the things that I loved, like you just mentioned, you're trying to empower the young filmmakers, the next generation. Yes. So with these NFTs, you get access to a private Discord, you get voting rights on which projects are greenlit, and these projects that may be greenlit.
We're not take away that voting rights. That's coming down the line.
Got you. All potential.
I have to establish what we're going to do first, but eventually we'll get to that. But not from the get-go, not from the jump. I will make the decisions.
I love it. Before we,
I want this to be a popularity contest. Sometimes these things can become.
There's nobody better at picking, a quality film to produce than you. So,
well, I'm not going to say that, but since I've been there, there's a thing called the NYU Spike Lee Graduate Film Production Fund, and over that, I'll say the past 15 years, we've given out over $2 million to my students to help them with their film. So this is something I've been doing already. This is not new. I select the films for that because I gotta know who they're my students. I see their work. They're in my class, so, and I can tell. I like that. I know I'm all over the place, but please forgive me because I'm excited. I'm glad to be with you guys, and power to you. One of the things I really try to stress to my students is work ethic. When you're in film school, or just in the film, and you choose to be a filmmaker, if you chose one of the most, this shit ain't easy. and something, and I know what it is, where people think they're gonna show up on the spot, and the hand of God is gonna come out of the sky and anoint them as the next motherfuckers. Dude, that does not work. There's no thing as an overnight success. Now, people may say that, but they're lying. Anybody who's achieved anything, if they put their hand in the Bible, the Quran, or the Torah, they're going to say they busted their motherfucking ass. It's work ethic. Look, you can see this all the time in sports, where you can see somebody that's talented, but like something's missing, and the person is putting in the work, and you see them fighting and clawing, they're gonna win. The other person thinks they're so talented, they're not gonna put in the work. Well, I don't have to show up. I don't have to lift weights. I don't do it. I'm just show up on the game. I'm gonna show up on the court, the baseball diamond, the gridiron. I'm just gonna. No, they don't last long. Nothing. And I like to say, anything I say, this is my opinion. I'm not speaking on behalf of anybody else. This is Spike Lee giving my opinion now. If you don't like it, peace and love. But you gotta bust your ass. Because here's another key. If you love, forget about film. But if you love what you do, it's not work. The majority of these people on this earth go to their grave. And this is not new. I've said this many times. The majority of human beings on this earth go to their grave having worked the job they hated all their life. That's a fact. And if you can find, here's a key thing. If you can find what you love and make a living from that, you've been blessed. You've been blessed.
I love it.
But there's another component to this. A lot of times, young people know what they love, and you know what happens? Their parents kill their dream. Especially when it comes to art. Me and your mother did not take out the second mortgage on this house so you could be a painter, a photographer, a poet, a writer, a filmmaker. They're like, fuck that. Your ass. We did not take out this second mortgage on this motherfucking house. Your ass is gonna get, you mean business, law, or a doctor. That's it. And also, parental pressure can be a bitch. And you see firsthand the sacrifices your parents have made, so you succumb to parental pressure and push aside what's in your heart to get some job that might be paying a lot of money, but your soul is empty. And you end up hating your parents many years later.
Sage advice, and definitely an issue that kids all over are going through.
Everybody who's listening to this, please believe me. I'm not making this shit up. Please. So again, I know it's hard. If you know the blood, sweat, and tears your parents have, what they've done to put you through, to put you through school, and so you don't want to, disappoint them, and you end up choosing a career path that doesn't make you happy. In NYU, I've had students who were lawyers, students who were doctors, student architects. These are people who've had a career, married and children to, and they dropped that, had understanding partners, and are in film school. I'm not talking about straight out of college. I'm talking about in their 40s. Because they made that decision, this is what I want to do. And I think that's courage to me.
I want to remind the audience the links. If you want to learn more details about the Visible project, links
Please.
Down below. We do have two final questions regarding
I got time.
Okay.
I'm rolling.
I love it, dude. I love it.
I'm feeling it.
I'm in
my vibe.
In
the zone.
Come on, let's do it. Keep going.
Let's go.
Any final thoughts on the Visible project?
I can say final. We're gonna keep it going.
We're gonna keep it going. I just don't want to get past the Visible project without.
I know, but you use the word final, so you trip me up right there.
That's how I get you, man. That's how I get you. But we're we're going to definitely keep going. I love what you said about empowering the next generation. Besides the link down below, any things we didn't cover on the Visible project?
No, and I like that. Yes, there are some things. Thank you for making me elaborate. When my generation went to film school, the only reason we didn't care about a degree, we only went there to get the equipment and know that you had your classmates for your crew. I was in film school from 79 to 82, NYU Graduate Film School. Today, technology has changed everything. People are making not short films, feature films on their phones. They're editing on their laptops. So technology has really brought a democracy to particularly film, but we could be other stuff too. So I think today's generation, they don't have any excuses why. All right, forget about let's put feature film aside. But a short film, come on. Now, I don't want to hear you don't have the money to do a short film. You got a phone, you got a laptop, get your crew and do it. And another thing is that no one, especially in film, it's not one person gang, it's not one person doing everything. You got to find like-minded people that you get together. All right, you have 4 people. All right, we're gonna take turns. Everybody gets to direct one, and the other 3 films you crew on. Can't do it alone.
So you're saying find your community.
That's it. Thank you for that.
I'm loving
That's what I meant. And the community is out there. You're not the only one trying to do what you're doing, people. You're not the only one trying to do what you're doing.
Hell yeah. Can I ask you something about crypto, Spike?
Yeah.
All right, because I love that famous commercial now. It's the New Money, Old Money commercial you did about cryptocurrency. And in that commercial campaign, you spoke about how old money is not inclusive, but new money is, relating to crypto. Could you speak a little bit more on that?
Well, here's the thing, though. That wording, this thing is changing every day. So unless sometimes people call me Negrodamus, the thing is that there's new stuff all the time. And we have to be open to it. Now, that doesn't mean that you put your life savings in it. You have to be smart and do your homework. No matter what I say, or if someone else trying to sell you something, do your homework. Do your homework. And that's all I really say about that. Do your homework. And when people, you gotta do your homework. And if you don't know, find somebody who knows. And also, you got a phone, Google. Read the business section of the New York Times. Google.
That's easy. I grew up on Google and Yahoo.
Yeah, for me, I like the feel of paper.
Old school.
Hey, I'm 65. I'm sorry. Here's what I tell people all the time.
You do not look it. You do not look it.
Thank you. You can't determine when you're born. You're born when you're born. That's why when people try to say, well, if Michael Jordan played today, no. I'm sorry. It don't work like that. Money, and also, forgive me, I keep referring to, I know there's 100th time I referred to my guy, Michael Jordan. But you're born when you're born.
We were born in Cleveland and grew up, you know, in the 90s, 2000s. So, you
know, the mistake by the lake.
That's exactly right. And, you know, our GOAT, LeBron, you know, he got us that championship. So,
hey, I cannot hate on LeBron. One of the greatest. Love him. Love my brother. Nothing but love.
And one follow-up on the new money, old money thing. Like, and tell me if this is a dumb question, but
no, ask away.
Okay, well, you've been an advocate for the Black community your whole life. What do you wish the Black community understood more about Bitcoin or crypto or new money?
Well, I would just, if I could rephrase that.
Please do.
Because that commercial is not shown on BET.
Needs to be.
It was so many places. It was not targeted for just Black folks.
It's for everybody.
It was for everybody. So if you could put everybody instead of Black community, I'll answer that question.
All right. But it is targeted towards sort of the minorities that don't feel they had
but I don't think, for me, my understanding that commercial is not just meant for Black people of color. That was not the target. That was like, they spent too much money on that thing just to be targeted Black folks and people of color. So I'll repeat what I said, is that you have to do your homework. You have to do your homework, do your research. I mean, are you going to spend money? Somebody says, oh, here goes the stock. You're just going to put money down on it, you know, because your Uncle Louie told you that. Your Uncle Louie or Vinny Vinbots tell you to do that. You know, you can't put the money down right away or do your research.
Always do your research.
I mean, the guy, let me think of a name. Anyway, guy comes to you, piece of paper, you want to buy part ownership of the Brooklyn Bridge. What are you going to do?
Sounds sketchy.
Exactly. Not to saying that the commercial is sketchy. I'm talking about you just have to think and do your research. Bad comparison, but you just gotta.
Well, there's a lot of sketchy parts of crypto, so you're absolutely right.
Oh yeah, definitely. But you referred to, my brother, to the commercial first, though.
Correct.
Okay.
Hey, question, Spike. Looking forward, because we have like tons of like notable people getting into crypto and NFTs in filmmaking specifically, whether it's the studios, Fox launching a $100 million NFT fund. We just interviewed Kevin Smith doing his own NFT thing. I'd love to get your thoughts like 10 years down the line, far future. And knowing back in the 90s, if anybody would have tried to predict the future of the internet, it would have been very, very hard. But do you see crypto, NFTs, and entertainment as inevitable, or what are your thoughts on the evolving space in 10 years?
Well, as I said, sometimes people call me Negro Damas, but I can't call this one. It's I'm not gonna go on the record what this is gonna be 10 years from now. Because I don't
Smart.
Spike! You said this 10 years ago. You fucked up, Spike.
I'd love it
if somebody pull that on me.
I'd love it if somebody shared our video 10 years from now. That'd be great.
Yeah, now you said some stupid shit, though.
That's true.
Hey, when it comes to like an actual story for a film, obviously everything's important, but for you in particular, are you most drawn to dynamic dialogue, great characters, a great arc in a story? Like for you personally, what are you most drawn to? All those things you described, my brother, are what makes exciting cinema. Yeah.
It's not one thing. And if you look at my films, my body of work, I think all those things are in there.
Definitely.
But you haven't asked me what I'm doing right now at this moment in time and space.
That was my next question.
Please.
See? Negro Damas appeared just right there.
That's right.
Oh, right now, I'm working on a multi-part documentary on Colin Kaepernick for ESPN.
Nice. I love it.
And for people who said Colin's been quiet, we haven't heard from him, He's coming with it. Double barrel shotgun.
Ooh, when will that be out?
Blasting. Fall football season.
Whoa, dude, perfect. That's coming up.
And hopefully he'll be signed. This Wednesday will be 3 weeks since Colin worked out for the Las Vegas Raiders. So we're all waiting on and what that verdict's going to be.
Yeah, if he comes back, that'll be quite the story.
And I like to say, when he comes back, he's going to be hyped. And he's ready.
Hey, Spike, are you a Bitcoin holder? Do you tell your financial people, get me a little Bitcoin?
No, I choose myself.
Oh,
I'm not going to let anybody...
oh, perfect. Do you hold Bitcoin?
Yeah, I don't know how to... It's in my phone now, but I love art. And if right now I'm speaking to you from my my office in Brooklyn, New York, and all the walls are covered with art, movie posters, photographs. You know, this whole office is surrounded by art. And I'm waiting on my guy supposed to get me one of those screens that put on a wall that could put on a loop my NFTs, but I think they're like 6 months behind or something. You know,
right.
who can I speak to?
Good question.
I'm sure you know people.
No, I can't get one. They're like 6 months.
That's cool. So you own Bitcoin, Ethereum, and NFTs. Is that fair to say?
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin specifically, and NFTs.
No, I'm talking about NFTs.
NFTs.
Yeah,
I see.
NFTs. Art. You mean
art?
And here's another thing I like to say. Technology has really been a gold mine for young artists, struggling artists. You know the art I was telling you about in my walls? A lot of this art I bought on Instagram. Beautiful art. Young, talented people who don't have their art in galleries, who are making their art on the floors of their studio apartment. And I feel great. And there's no bullshit. I feel great when I see these young artists busting their ass in their work. I pay more than what's sometimes twice as much they're asking for. Like, boom, take this.
Support,
it's a blessing.
Support art.
And here's the reason why. Because when I was starting, there were people who looked after me. I had to raise money. I mean, there were investors for She's Gonna Have It who are still receiving residual checks 30 years since it came out, 86. I'm not complaining. They put their money down betting on me. And I'll be forever in their debt. And so when I see, periodically once a month, go on Instagram, see what's up there, boom. And far too often, I'm too late. I'm like, sorry, Spike, it's sold. They say, well, I'll make you a print. Nah, I don't do prints.
You want the original.
The one and original. The real McCoy.
Were you one of those guys who bought like Jay-Z, who bought like a CryptoPunk or like a Bored Ape?
Nah, not particularly my taste.
Yeah.
Not making any judgment. No judgment. Just not my taste.
Right.
Spike, this next question, very personal to us, but I just want to pick your brain. Aaron and I we're actors as well as filmmakers in Los Angeles. And then we have a thriving YouTube channel that blew up, as you know, in crypto for the last 5 years.
Yeah. Make sure that you get that too. I want to check you out.
Well, we have short films. We won some awards for dark comedy, festivals. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
What's your name? Some brothers?
Austin and Aaron Arnold brothers.
The Arnold brothers. Okay, I'm gonna check it out. Let me write this down now.
Thanks. We'll send you the award winners.
The what?
We'll send you the ones that won awards.
Oh.
But my question to you is just.
Hold on. Arnold Bros or Arnold Brothers?
Bros. I like bros.
I know, but how do you go by?
Oh, we go by just the Arnold, like Aaron Arnold, Austin Arnold, but just the Arnold brothers as well.
Like that?
Hell,
That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Right, I'm gonna check you out today.
Awesome.
I appreciate it. Would you say the film festival route is still a viable opportunity for young filmmakers?
Yes. Who said it wasn't?
Well, it's not the 90s anymore, and obviously
somebody don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Educate me.
As a young filmmaker, once you have a film, you gotta get it seen. And to discount film festivals, I'm not here. Let me be clear. I'm not saying film festivals are the only way to get seen, but I would never discourage a young filmmaker, not to enter film festivals. Why would you do that? Film festivals are not passe.
Good. I mean, and we find it valuable, just the networking alone of other like-minded people in the space.
Yes. And let's take COVID out of it though. Let's say pre-COVID. When you submit a film, if you can go, you go to that festival. And so there's your word you just said. There's your community at those film festivals. People hook up. No, I'm not mean sex. I'm just talking about, change the idea. Oh, I like your film. Oh, that's community.
I love it. Aaron, final question for Spike Lee.
I love the passion, Spike.
Whoa. What's that word?
Passion?
No, final.
Yes, because I
passion.
love what I'm doing.
Yes.
I'm passionate about filmmaking. I'm passionate about teaching. That's why I do this. I'm not faking the funk. I'm not half-stepping. This shit is serious.
In the last, say, 5 years, what are your 3 favorite A-list movies that people could see?
Besides yours.
Just you gotta give me that. You gotta give me a heads up on that.
What?
There's so much good stuff. But I'll tell you what my all-time favorites. I could do that though, right?
Let's do it. All-time favorites that you would love to buy an NFT of those films.
And look, anytime. Let me preface this. You get in a lot of trouble when you have a list. And right now, with the NBA playoffs, everybody has a list. The top players in the finals, the top people who got left off the top 75, which came out All-Star Weekend. And so you leave somebody out, you leave a movie out, people say you're dissing them, which can be, if you gotta find that number, you got 10, you're picking 10. So I say that in answer to your question. My favorite movie of all time, written by my dear friend Bud Schilberg, who's no longer with us, directed by Elia Zan, On the Motherfucking Waterfront.
I like that one.
Random! I can watch that joint
Yeah.
forever.
Like I could have been a contender, right?
Yes. In my opinion, And I'm not, look, I love Scorsese, Spielberg, Coppola, I mean, love all of them. But they got favorite films too. So they're leaving people out too. So that is my favorite film, On the Waterfront. And everybody that's watching this, thank you for spending your time. And if you have not seen On the Waterfront, do yourself a favor. If you're really serious about being a filmmaker and you haven't seen that film, On the Waterfront, check it out.
I concur. Spike Lee, the links for your stuff is down below. Thank you so much, man, for spending your time. We're big fans of you.
Let's do this again. Let's do this again.
Let's do it.
I love that.
I really, here's the thing, though. I'm going to finish by this. One of the things, and you guys understand this, the best way to get interaction from the people you interview, you got to have smart, interesting questions. Because if you don't, you're not going to get what you want. And you guys did it. It was an honor and pleasure meeting you. The Arnold brothers in the house. Keep doing your thing, man. Keep doing your thing. Attack, 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 attack.